Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is August 25th, 2023, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, we're watching the market sell off almost across the board. But first, looking at today's major economic events. So we start the day at 10 a.m. South African time out of Germany. We have an Ifo Business Climate number coming out. And then at 4 p.m. South African time, we have out of the United States a revised consumer confidence number coming out. And all day today, we have Jackson Hole Symposium happening. Day number 2. Now looking at the market, starting out with the Forex symbols, almost all the major pairs sell off lower. Now looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ both sold off and broke lower. Now looking at commodities, it was mixed. While we looked at gold being unchanged day to day, oil actually bounced. I'm looking at the tech stocks. NVIDIA had a gap up, but gave it up and sold off into the day and closed the gap. Looking at the tech stocks, they slid as well. Now, lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin remains unchanged. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're going to start with the Euro USD, and you can see it's breaking that 200-day moving average. That is a major retracement, 107.89. Now, it didn't give it to us so easily, okay? It started out on 112.70-ish level. That was the high, and that was a resistance-ish level. I mean, it was right there at that 200-day moving average. Now, this is really important because when we look at a weekly, we're breaking the 30-day moving average, and we've already retraced about 500 pips. That is decent for a move in the Euro USD for this time of the year. Now, it didn't give it to us altogether. It was a choppy market, and it kind of grinded down and grinded down. It did stall for a while, okay, before it hit this area, but it is hitting this this support level, and the real next support level is somewhere on 107.34. okay, yes, the euro has many support levels and it does trade choppy. Now looking at the GBP USD, also this is major because the GBP was relatively strong, trading sideways, did not sell off as strongly as the euro did, and then finally gave it up yesterday. Now jumping into gold. Gold did really nothing yesterday, okay, about $6 in a range. So let's just jump into crude oil. Crude oil did break lower and then bounced, okay, to 79.43. Still in a very tight range and not doing much for this time of the year. Now I do expect oil to start perking up as hurricane season comes forth. Now looking at the US markets, the Dow Jones did sell off yesterday. You could see that quite clearly after a nice day before that we had some anticipation of some news that came out that it would go higher, but gave up those gains to 34,000, and it's below 34,300, which was supportish level. If we look at a weekly chart, that's getting close to our 30-day moving average. That's really very important. I mean, we were at 35,500-ish level, 600-ish level. So, for us to be at 34,100, that's a pretty decent retracement for the summer. Now, looking at the tech stocks, NASDAQ also sold off yesterday. Let's just take a look at it. Whatever gains we had the previous day, we gave it up. Okay, and it was almost across the board. Now, I want to highlight NVIDIA because that was really the major play yesterday. If you look, you can't see it so clearly, but we had a gap up about $507. Okay, we gapped up to about $500, but we sold off the open and we didn't recover. Now we're at closing the gap. Okay, we're pretty much where we were before we gapped up. The question is whether or not this is going to hold or is it going to continue selling off? Okay, because sometimes they try to make it seem like it's weaker than it is in order to buy it up. So keep an eye on this today if it does bounce off of these levels. Now jumping into the other major stocks, Apple also did retrace yesterday as it sold off. Now it isn't supportish level, okay, for all intents and purposes, but we're selling off and there's some momentum here on the sell-off. So this may actually accelerate. Looking at Microsoft, also sold off to 319 and also did Facebook. Okay, so there's nothing really saying, okay, I'm strong and I'm not going to break further. And everything is really just very weak right now. So, kind of be very timid. I mean, we are hitting supportish level, but still, okay, just be very, very careful around these areas. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, really not doing anything. I mean, maybe we should skip it for a couple until it does start perking up again. It's something, maybe, but it's really been doing not much. This is Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.